Hi, I'm Mrs. Boykin, your child's AP English Lit and Composition teacher. Here's a little list of my teaching experience. The most important item on that list is probably the last one. I've been at Thunderbird High School since 2002. I will use my experience to help your student be like the cat in the picture and walk with that kind of confidence in front of the test in May. My class offers dual enrollment opportunities for students, English 101, which typically transfers to just about any university as the first semester English class that is required. And the second opportunity is ENH 110, which often transfers as a humanities class. Now, the details on how to enroll and what these will look like are still forthcoming, but I know that the opportunity still stands for your student. The actual test consists of, as you may know, 3 essays and 55 objective questions. The 3 essays test students on their ability to quickly organize and analyze a piece of literature. 1 essay is on a poem, 1 essay is on a piece of prose, and 1 essay is pertaining to a novel. The objective test also hits various genres and time periods of literature, and students are expected to complete that in an hour. So the district will pay the $95 fee for the test, and because of that, every student is expected to take the test in May. It is one of the outcomes of this class. If a student cannot take that test, they have to clear it through the assistant principal for student services offices, or on our campus, she's known as Mrs. Bjork. Some major assignments include these things: the novel study, which is an independent study by students, practicing all the skills that I hope they learned in their 3 years of Honors English and AP English in my class. A personal statement, which should stand in for both the college application essay and the scholarship essay. The in-class timed essays that we will work on, of course, to practice our timing. Vocabulary, when we start to hit some newer or novel pieces in my class, we'll practice the vocabulary to support that learning. And then, of course, there's lots of reading, in-class writing of paragraphs, etc. And then we read lots of poetry and short stories. And one of the hallmarks of my class that I think is really important is that I very much value small group discussion and then sharing out with the larger group. So my class is structured both in person and remotely with small groups, so the students stay in touch with 3 to 4 other students, classmates, to communicate with them about various thoughts and ideas on what we're studying. And then those groups will switch up during the course of the semester quite often, and different roles are assigned in those groups. So students get to practice different leadership roles within the group. The grading for my class is intended to honor this remote environment to some degree. So the tests, quizzes, and projects category is only 15% of the grade. And you should know that tests and quizzes are open note and open book. And that is so that we have equity across whatever the learning situations are at home. A couple of class policies that you should be aware of. Late work, of course, is strongly discouraged. But if it is late for whatever reason, it's 10% for the first day, and then it's half credit after that. I cannot emphasize enough, strongly encourage students to communicate with me if they're having extenuating circumstances for whatever reason, or they feel like they have a justification for an extension. I'm more than willing to be flexible when the situation is warranted. Students are responsible to get makeup work, of course. Everything is in Google Classroom. If they email me and ask me for work, I'll direct them to go to Google Classroom. Of course, no plagiarism is allowed, and whether it's accidental or on purpose, students are taught how to not do that. And so when it does occur, of course, I will address that in the class. If there are any concerns that you have, or a student has concerns about a grade or the progress that they're making in the class, I strongly encourage them to make an appointment with me to discuss that. Of course, I encourage parents to do that as well. Here's my contact information. You should have heard from me already several times with regard to my contact info, what's going on in the class, but here's a reminder in case you need it. Email is really efficient for that. I'm checking it constantly, but I also have a Google Voice number. If you would like to text me, just include your name in the text so I know who you are. I can't say it enough. Stay in touch, stay involved with everything as much as you can with regard to knowing what's going on in your students' classroom with me. Some of the topics that we do discuss are quite engaging and I think could lead to some really nice conversations in your household. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or concerns. Have a good night.